Everything we thought we knew was a lie. Hey guys, it's Professor Pro, and to me personally, the most important announcement of Sakurai's Smash presentation wasn't that of Byleth, Cuphead, or the Rabbit Hat, but was instead the announcement of Fighters Pass Volume 2. Not only are we getting more challengers, but we're getting one more than last time. This guy is a madman. If there's one thing I've learned from this situation, it's that you should never try to predict Sakurai. Of course he would choose Byleth after I specifically put them in my video of characters that wouldn't be announced as Challenger Pack 5. How stupid of me to think I could guess what's going on inside that man's head. So logically, in this video, we're going to be trying to predict Sakurai again. Even though I just got horrible results. This seems a little counterintuitive. By announcing Byleth, Sakurai broke about a dozen fan-made quote-unquote rules that supposedly dictate who could make it into the Fighters Pass. So in this prediction video, I'm going absolutely wild. I'm going with my gut predictions, and that's that. No patterns, no Sakurai pose analyzation, I'm just going with what feels right to me. But of course, most of these characters are backed up by what at least feels logical. So, without further ado, let's get into Professor Pro's predictions, or PPP for short. The first thing I want to make clear is that I think there will be a bit of a recess between Byleth's announcement and the announcement of the first character in Fighters Pass Volume 2, which makes sense when you think about it. We seem to be heading for a February Direct, and when we got that last year, we missed out on our regular spring one. So I don't think it's much of a stretch to say that we won't see our next fighter announcement until E3. I know that seems like a lot of time, but if you do the math, it's really not that much longer than the amount of time between Terry and Byleth's reveals. So, with that being said, what character do I think is going to fill up that juicy E3 slot? Well, call me original, cause I'm going to go with Geno from Super Mario RPG. I'm most certainly not the first person to predict Geno for this Fighters Pass, and I will most certainly not be the last. But that's just because the guy seems so dang likely. I said this in my previous video, but in case you didn't see that, I'll repeat it here. Geno is the final member of the Smash 4. 4 characters back in the Smash 4 days that were requested more than any other, being Ridley, King K. Rool, Banjo and Kazooie, and of course, Geno. I just can't see Ultimate finishing up without this guy making the cut. Sakurai's also announced that he's a big fan of Geno, and has even said that he'd be perfect for Smash. If I had to bet money on one character being part of this DLC pack, it would be Geno. As a side note, you might be wondering what this percentage is in the top right corner. That's how likely I think the character is to join Ultimate if I try to think as realistically as possible. Like I said before, I have some wildcards on this list, so this percentage will help create contrast between the crazy guesses to try and anticipate Sakurai's unpredictableness, and the guesses I'm more certain will happen. Moving on to my second prediction, we have Porky from the Mother/Earthbound series. I've seen a lot of people genuinely perplexed as to why Porky keeps getting predicted for this game. What's so likely about a villain from a series that's considered by most accounts to be dead? Well, the main piece of evidence pointing towards Porky's inclusion as a fighter is his complete absence within the game. No boss, no spirit, no nothing. He's the only boss from the Subspace Emissary to not appear in Smash Ultimate in any way. This may seem like a stretch, but do you really think Sakurai would include Ness's father as a spirit but not the main villain of the Mother series? Seems a little suspicious. Add this to the fact that Earthbound hasn't received a new character rep since Brawl, and Porky isn't looking too unlikely. Hey guys, just wanted to put in a little side note here so I don't get comments about it. Some people are claiming that Porky is indeed in Smash Ultimate, and that he's just inside the absolutely safe capsule that he trapped himself in at the end of Mother 3. This is actually not the case. The capsule has 2 sprites in Mother 3, one when Porky is inside and one when he's not. The one used in Ultimate Spirit is very clearly the one that isn't occupied by Porky, meaning that he's most certainly not in this game. My third prediction for Smash Ultimate's second Fighters Pass is Rillaboom. We know that Smash loves Pokemon. It has the most fighters out of any franchise, being the only series to hit double digits. And because of Byleth, we also know that being too new isn't a problem in regards to getting into Smash. Despite its controversy, Pokemon Sword and Shield is selling incredibly well, and considering the fact that the next Smash game probably won't come out for a very long time, I can't see Nintendo wanting to miss out on adding a Gen 8 Pokemon to this one. I chose Rillaboom specifically since we already have a Water Final evolution in Greninja and 2 Final Fire evolutions in Incineroar and Charizard. Despite this, I still have him at a 40%, since they really could choose any Pokemon to fill this spot. Coming in at slot number 4, we have Lloyd Irving from Tales of Symphonia. Like I've said before, I don't know much about him, and I'm not going to act like I do. However, what I do know is that just like in Smash 4, Bandai Namco is co-developing Smash Ultimate. But unlike Smash 4, we are yet to receive a Bandai Namco character. Now, it really could be any Namco character, but Tales of Symphonia is quite popular in Japan if I'm correct, and seeing as I don't really have any other Japan-focused characters on my list, I'm going to stick with Lloyd. My 5th character prediction is Doomslayer. This is my sort of unprecedented pick, me attempting to work with Sakurai's natural unpredictability. There's not really anything specifically pointing towards Doomslayer's inclusion, besides the fact that Smash doesn't have a first-person shooter character yet. That's definitely not enough to validate this point, but whatever, I'm predicting him. And for my final prediction, the character that will finish off this pass, Minecraft Steve. I know, I'm sorry, but I will not give up hope for this character. Not only is Steve the protagonist of the best-selling video game of all time, but Nintendo and Microsoft are still super buddy-buddy. In my eyes, if we can get Banjo, we can get Steve too. After losing Sans, he's my new most wanted character, and I won't stop believing. So, that just about finishes off my predictions for Fighters Pass Volume 2. Looking back, I would probably switch around the positions of Porky and Doomslayer, considering Doom Eternal is coming out and I can see his announcement coming closer to that, but I really didn't want to re-edit the picture. I'd love to hear what you guys have to think in the comments below, as always. What do you think will be included in this pass? Are my predictions too wild, too safe, or just outright bad? I look forward to hearing your responses. Professor Pro, out.